Okay. Good morning, everyone, or maybe good afternoon, depending on where you're at in the world. I hope everyone is safe and well. Thank you for joining me today to talk about the Wenzel LH and XO and how they adapt to your performance and your resources. I'd like to show off the artwork from my daughter and my wife, since where I'm at in Michigan in the United States, we're still on lockdown, so you're coming live from my kitchen. So thank you to my wife for allowing me to hijack all of her stuff for this presentation for you guys. Um, okay, so with that out of the way, I am Scott Romaine. I'm the Mid-East Sales Manager for the United States for Wenzel America, and I'm going to go over a few things today. Ooh, let's get it to work. All right, I'm going to go over a few things for you today. Uh, First off, I'm going to start with, who is Wenzel? What do we stand for? Secondly, I'm going to introduce you to some of the sensors or probing technology that we can put on these CMMs. It's very important to understand the difference in the sensors, because certain sensors can go on an LH and certain sensors can go on an XO, so it helps us differentiate them. Next, we'll go over the XO and the LH, how they're from the same family. Then we'll go over the flexibly advanced LH, the sensibly robust XO, and then finally we'll ask a question: what system is right for you? So starting with, who is Wenzel? Wenzel was founded in 1968 by Werner Wenzel, and his daughter Heike Wenzel runs the company today. Throughout those years, we've expanded from humble beginnings to having a global sales and service market, or global sales and service opportunities. We also have manufacturing facilities in Europe and in Asia. Hey, Renee, I can hear you guys though. Can you mute? Thanks. Um, we have sales and service all over the globe. And what's very important to me on this slide is our research and development intensity. We invest 11% or greater of our profits back into our product lines, into the research. So we're trying to give you the most advanced products. There hasn't been an opportunity where I've had to walk away and say, we can't do that. The Wenzels truly give me the opportunity and give the customer the opportunity to have the most advanced future-proof products in the world. This is my favorite slide. It's a picture that was taken a few years ago of our Plant 1 and Plant 2 in Wiestal, Germany. And the reason it spoke to me is working for a family company. I come from a strong family tradition, and working for a family company, it stands for a certain amount of value, right? We stand behind our customer. Your problems are our problems. Your solutions and your wins are our wins. Werner started the company where I put that red arrow. Him and his wife lived there and worked there, and throughout the years, they've stayed in the same location, and we've expanded. And that speaks in this building. So the building has different color roofs, it has different shaped roofs, it's gotten bigger over time. So we're starting from those humble beginnings and continuing with the same tradition, the same values, up until where we are today, with manufacturing again in Asia and in Europe, and sales and service all over the globe. So now that you know a little bit about who Wenzel is, let's talk about the sensors that can go on these machines. I'm going to start with, I won't say the least advanced, but I'll start with the least mobile type, the least movement sensors, and move into the most mobile, the most advanced, and the most flexible. So this is starting with the most rigid. And starting with a fixed 3-axis probe, the SP80. When I say 3-axis, what I mean is the machine is doing the measurement. So the XYZ is the 3-axis of the machine. The machine is driving around and doing the measurement. The SP80 is fixed, meaning that it does not move in any angle, it doesn't move in any direction. The probe is straight down. If you need any other type of configuration like I have on this slide, you would build a star probe, so you have multiple probes going in different directions. So if this is the least flexible solution, then why would somebody purchase it? Well, traditionally, the SP80 has been a very, very accurate probing system, and it still is a very robust probing system. Secondly, for applications for very large parts, say a large tube or big engine components, you need very long styli and high accuracy. With the SP80, you can use extensions up to 1,000 millimeters or a meter. It's a very long extension and still keep very high accuracy. Other than those specific applications, this probe can be a bit limiting. So moving from a 3-axis fixed we'll move into a 3-axis articulated probe. And what articulation means is we're still using the 3-axis of the machine to do the measurement. However, with 3-axis articulated probe, you can now move the probe into different angles and different positions. This eliminates the need for complicated style-like configurations, star probes, crank probes, stuff like that, and allows more flexibility for the programmer to choose the angles that they need. Now, this 3-axis articulated probe comes in 2 flavors, the PH10T and the PH10M. The PH10T is the most basic. It's for touch only, and you need to use manual threaded in extensions. Where this would be appropriate would be in a environment where you have very little changeover in parts, where maybe the parts are very simple, or where cost is at the utmost important for the customer. Moving to the PH10M, M stands for multi-wire. This is essentially the most ubiquitous probe in the world. It allows you to use touch probes. It allows you to use physical scanning probes. It offers a wide range of compatibility with optical and laser sensors. Because the PH10M is truly ubiquitous, and it is in almost every manufacturing shop in the globe, if you're a third-party manufacturer, you develop your sensor to fit on a PH10M. It could be a Nikon, it could be a Creon, it could be something out there. Anything in the world, you're going to design it to probably be with a PH10M. That gives you a lot of flexibility as a customer. And lastly, with the PH10M, everything is automatic. There is no manual changing. It could be a Nikon sensor, it could be an SP25 scanning sensor, it could be a touch probe. There is a parking spot in a rack where the operator now, through programming, can easily change those sensors automatically. This is truly a conservative probing solution, but it is a good probing solution. So moving from our 3-axis as we continue to get more and more flexible, now we're going to move into 5-axis touch probe. So where 3-axis was the machine doing the measurement, now we're using the machine and the probe together to do the measurement, which is 5-axis, the 2 on the head and the 3 in the machine. This is the PH20 Touch system. This allows the machine and the probe to work together to take the measurements in a very high-speed fashion. Now, I can talk a lot about this, but it's kind of hard to describe how quick and how much 5-axis changes this situation. So I'm going to play a quick video for you. As you can see, the probe head is positioned by the CMM and then it's taking measurements on its own. It truly is an incredibly fast solution. All right, so now we'll share our screen again. Okay, so now that we've gone from 3-axis to 5-axis touch, what if we want to combine all of these? Because each probe has had sort of a different flavor, right? The SP80 is very accurate and long styli. The PH10 is multi-sensor and allows you to use optical and laser sensors with it. And the PH20 is only touch, but it's 5-axis, so it's incredibly fast and advanced. So if we take all of these probing technologies and combine them together, that's where we're going to learn. That's where we're going to lean into the REVO system. The REVO system is a truly revolutionary sensor system that our CMMs are built and designed to carry. It not only has long styli, it not only has multi-sensor, but it's also 5-axis movement. It's also 20 times faster than a traditional CMM. Traditional CMMs of whatever brand use a scanning probe that has a maximum scanning rate of about 25 millimeters a second. The Renisha REVO can scan 500 millimeters a second. Now, I've talked to application engineers, I've talked to competitors, I've talked to customers. This isn't just a marketing blurb. It truly does run at that speed, and some people say it's even better when it's running faster. Now, the REVO is the most expensive solution I've provided to you so far. However, it's completely revolutionary, and it changes the way we have to think about CMM measurement. With it being a multi-sensor technology, you not only have the incredible high-speed scanning, and high-speed movement for touch. But now you can add a surface roughness probe. You can add a 2D optical probe. You can add a 3D optical probe. So you're taking all of these setups that are traditionally placed around the quality lab. You may have a setup for surface finish and have a person there. You may have handwritten reports. We're taking all of that and we're bringing it onto the CMM. So you've eliminated multiple setups. Now, traditionally, using traditional probing or conservative probing, a CMM is a bottleneck in the lab. It's not fast enough to keep up with the rest of the process. Now that we can run 20 times faster, we've eliminated that bottleneck and got efficiency of economies of scales by moving all of those setups onto the CMM. So now we have only one piece of equipment to maintain. We only have one piece of software to maintain and learn. We have one knowledge base that we need to teach, eliminating all the rest of that complication. So it truly is a different way to think about how a CMM can be incorporated into a quality system. So now that we know a little bit about the technology that can go on the CMM, let's talk about how the LH and the EXO are from the same family. Every CMM that we sell starts out the same way. If we start at the top right of this slide and go clockwise, every CMM from the smallest manual machine to the largest, most advanced system we sell starts out as a giant block of granite that we mine. We bring that to our factories and we machine them down with very large machines into the components that we'll need for our machines, for our CMMs. After the machines have taken over and shaped these blocks, every piece is hand finished. As you can see in the center there, the lower center, two gentlemen hand lapping a plate. Not only is it the plates, but everything is hand finished and made of the same material. So if you look in the lower left and the upper left, that's a X bridge or the bridge beam made out of granite, and then that's a Z-quill on the top there. You can see the almost mirror-like finish on the Z-quill because it's hand finished. Also, interestingly, granite is a very light material. It was surprising, I had forgot about this, but in like 4th grade, I remember being in geology class and us talking about the crust of the earth and how it's all granite. And the reason that is because granite floats on all different types of rock because it's so light. So not only is it a light material, but we can make it lighter. Why that's important is the machine is light, it can move quickly. It can stop quickly, it's more stable. So we core out the Z-quill and the X-bridge on every single machine to give you the rigidity and the stability of granite with also the very, very lightweight. So to get kind of an idea of some scale to this, which it's impressive when you see it, I have a very short video on this as well. So I'm going to play the Granite video to give you a sense of the process here. Okay. You can see just how massive those blocks are. And then the hand finishing. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video here. This is showing one block of granite that has been machined to fit the bearing cage of the CMM. So it's all one piece. And I'll keep playing this, but it's important in the next slide. Okay. So why is all of this important? So I've got two pictures on this slide. The one on the left, you'll see the dark arrow. That is the all granite X bridge. The light arrow on the bottom of the left-hand picture is an all granite Z-quill. And this is a machine that is actually in the office here in the United States. A customer in the aerospace industry had just purchased this. So again, every machine from the smallest to the largest is going to have these components made out of granite as well as the table. So back to that video where I paused it, if you look at the right-hand side of the slide, the darker arrow is pointing at that trench that you saw ground into the granite. That gives this gives you some sense of where the bearings go on that and what it makes room for. And then the light arrow is showing the bearing surface where the majority of the weight of a machine, the bridge, is riding on. That bearing surface is now lapped. It's all one part of it's part of the same piece. It's all lapped together. So not only are the bearings on both sides of the machine riding on a surface that's precise and the same, also your parts are living on a table that is the same flatness, same shape. Everything is the same. So that leads into the 3 points on why this is important. Long-term stability, maximum mechanical precision, and they build into a low cost of ownership on every machine we sell. Long-term stability. Well, granite is millions of years old. It's formed, it's shaped, it's done changing long before we mine it out of the ground. It's usually devoid of all internal structures, and it's a homogeneous material, especially with our precision guys that go down and find the best granite. That material, it doesn't change, it doesn't wear, it doesn't sag, it doesn't warp, it doesn't age over time. It is almost eternal. So every machine we sell, the physical structure of the machine is going to last a lifetime. Also, because the machine is made of the same material and the same very hard material, it allows us to give you the maximum mechanical precision. The machines can be made very physically accurate and very physically precise, and then they continue to stay that way over time because, again, the material is stable. Both of these build into a low cost of ownership. Now, that can range from some simple ideas to some more complex ones, but the simplest is because the material does not change, because we can make it so flat, it allows us to use very low bearing gaps. So I've used a little red arrow pointing at one of the load bearings or one of the main bearings on that machine on the picture on the right. There's a 2-micron gap between those bearings and that surface because the surface doesn't change. It's very flat. That allows for low air consumption. Now, it doesn't seem like much. If you have one machine, it seems silly that it would be important. But if you scale this up to over the 10,000 machines we have in the industry, if you scale that up to one of our customers that has 40 of our machines sitting in the same room, that can be a very large savings to a customer and also a very large savings to the planet. Secondly, because the machine is so long-term stable, your investment is going to last for a very, very long time. Gives you a long time to return that investment. A CMM, regardless of size, is a big investment. And you want not only that machine to pay for itself, but you want that machine to pay for itself over and over again. That maximum mechanical precision. Having the long-term stability continuing with that precision, that means that the machine today, if you buy a submicron machine today, it's going to be a submicron machine in 2 years. It's going to be the submicron machine in 5 years. Barring anything, I know accidents don't happen and nobody ever crashes CMMs, but barring anything like that, these machines are going to stay the way they were from day one, continuing throughout the years. That's going to save you in service costs. You're going to need less visits from us. It's going to allow you to build your quality procedures around the machine. No longer are you dictated to follow a CMM procedure. You can build it in. If you need a 6-month calibration cycle, if you need a 12-month, if you need a 2-year, 24-month, it can be built around you. So it gives you the flexibility to choose. Again, saving you money, saving you time, and making your operation more efficient. So now that we know how the LH and the XO are from the same family, let's talk about the LH. Now, when I was trying to come up with 2 words to describe the machine, I came up with flexibly advanced. Flexibly because the machine is built around you, and advanced because it is the epitome or the pinnacle of technology. All of that research and development that we're talking about is going into sensors and better technology for these CMMs. You can take any advanced sensor that you can imagine in the industry and you can put it on an LH. So let's start with a brief introduction to the bridge type LH machines. The bridge type LH machine can take every probe that I talked about earlier in the slide, the REVO, the PH20, the SP80, PH10, PH10T. It can also handle all of those third-party laser and optical sensors. It has a wide range of sizes, anywhere from 600 millimeters wide to 1500 millimeters wide. And look at those accuracy specs. Sub-micron levels of accuracy on the 600 and the 800 millimeter machine. 1 micron accuracy on the meter machine. Below 2 microns on a 1200. Very tight tolerances on these machines. Also, not only are the machines flexible in how wide they are, but every one of these machines can be built to your size of parts in length. So we can go, if you have a 600 millimeter wide machine, you can get that in 6 meters long or anywhere in between. And that goes for all of these. That allows that machine to be built specifically and tailored around you. Now, going back to that family, that robustness, that the process that these are all made under. When you look at that submicron accuracy spec, and you bought that machine in a 6 meter length, that machine is still going to be a submicron machine. We don't change our specs based on length. So when you buy that machine, we are so conservative with the way we spec our machines that we guarantee that those machines are going to live at that level for the rest of their life. We have plenty of machines that I talk to customers that are 10, 15 years old, and they ask us what the accuracy specs are. And we pull the calibration sheet and we look at the original spec of the machine, and they're the same or better. So these are great machines. They live forever. So if that's the bridge type, maybe you have a part that's bigger than 1500 millimeters. You need something a little bigger, but you need still really good accuracy. For that, we have the LH gantry style machine. The gantry style machine takes all the drive components and bearing components that are typically down low by the operator and move them up to the top of the machine. This allows the machine to maintain a very high accuracy, even though we're talking about a 2 meter or 2000 millimeter or 2300 millimeter wide machine. Incredibly high accuracy with these machines for that size. Also, there's still a standard machine. These do not need a separate foundation. So there's, any industrial concrete floor that you have, these machines can be set in just like a normal bridge type CMM. Sometimes though, 2300 millimeters is still not quite big enough. So that's where we move on to the portal type or LHF type CMMs that we sell. These allow great part access. They're still riding on Granite guideways, and they're allowing you to measure parts, 2500 millimeters wide, 3000 millimeters wide, 4000, 4 meters wide, and any length that you can think of. Do you need something that's 3 meters long or 12 meters long? We'll make it to size. We'll make the size that fits your parts. These machines are fantastic at measuring large engine components, train engines, train parts, tanks, large automotive production or truck production. And the interesting thing about this entire LH family is that all of these can take the most advanced probing system in the world. So a very common configuration for an LHF, a very large machine, is to combine it with a REVO, because again, you're getting that 20 times faster speed, but also incredibly long styli, which are important in these large applications. And time is money. So and all of these machines again are built on a Granite base. Even this one, those Granite guideways, even if you had it 20 meters long, are all made of Granite, and the bearings are riding on Granite. So it's all in the same family. So why is that? What does this do for us? Why is this important? What does this LH family all mean? Well, first off, it's designed for revolutionary sensors. These machines are designed to take anything a manufacturer can dream up, any advanced technology, and incorporate that in. By having the machine physically the best accuracy possible, it allows anything you can think of to be attached to the machine. Secondly, customer specific configurations. Machines are truly built around you. They're built to suit what you need from the machine. You combine those two together and you get what I call a contemporary solution, a truly contemporary solution. All of that R&D money. These machines are built for Industry 4.0. These machines are built for high advanced technical parts. These are not built for parts today. These machines are built for parts tomorrow. There's plenty of applications out there that don't quite need submicron accuracy levels yet. But if you buy a Wenzel LH at a submicron level today, and you run into those parts 5 years from now, now you still have a solution that's ready to meet your challenges. The Wenzel LH is a machine that you stake, you put your flag in the ground and you accentuate your quality process. You're trying to show that off. You're telling your customers, I make the most advanced parts in the world, and I'm going to win your business. So if we take all that from the LH, not every customer Not every part demands that amount of flexibility. Not every customer or part demands the most advanced technology. There are plenty, millions of manufacturers all over the globe that make just standard parts that make the world go round that we don't even think about. It could be something in this headset. Um, and for that, we took everything that's important about the LH, all the advanced, all that research and development, we distilled it down. We took the most essential components, combined it all together, and created the XO. So for the XO, I chose the two words sensibly robust. Sensibly, because it is the most distilled and essential version to measure your parts on. And robust, because it's still built on that same family values. It's still that long life material. It's still the same quality process. So it's going to last a lifetime. Brief introduction. So how do we take an LH, which is advanced and infinitely customizable, and distill it down? Well, one way we can do that is to limit the amount of sensors or build the machine around the most common sensors in the industry. So like I said, the PH10 is absolutely ubiquitous. It's the most common sensor on the world. And then also the PH20 has been incredibly popular in the essentials kind of business. And by limiting it to the most common sensors, it allows us to, boil down and distill that LH into something that's more affordable. But it still gives you the PH10M with touch and scanning. It still gives you all of the third-party support for all of those optical and laser sensors out there. It still gives you that advanced 5-axis technology. So you're not giving up things. You're just focusing on what's truly important for this particular situation. This is truly an essential solution for standard tasks. Another way we distill the LH down is by limiting the size. So where, again, the LH is infinitely customizable, the XO has some standard sizes, anywhere from 500 to 1,000 millimeters wide, and links up to 2.5 meters. So you can't get a 6-meter XO. But, again, going back to that same family, look at those accuracy specs. 1.8 microns for a meter wide machine, 1.5 microns for a 500 millimeter machine. These are not economy machines. That's why I use the word essential. They're really a premium machine that has all of the essential needs for a customer, not giving up by choosing an XO. So why are these important? What makes the XO special? Maximizing price to performance. Because this is distilled down, because this is the most essential things, it gives you that economy-like price for a very premium, high performance product. So you're maximizing your investment for your price to performance ratio. Next, it's going to be a more compact solution. Because it doesn't need to be designed to fit anything somebody can imagine, the machine can be smaller, it can be tighter, it can be shorter. Now, when we talk about this, what comes to mind for me is small locations. So if you have a small shop or something like that, but it's just scratching the surface. Having a more compact design, there was a customer that we have 40 of these in one location, and this customer could have bought 40 LHs or 40 of whatever. The money wasn't the problem. It was space. They had a given amount of volume in this shop, so they chose the XO over the LH just because it fit 40 of them very close together. So it can mean a lot of different things, but it's a very compact kind of design. And if the LH is a contemporary future solution, then the XO is a foundational solution. The LH, you're staking your flag and saying, Mr. Customer, I make the most advanced parts in the world, and I'm going to win your business. With this, it's something to build a quality process around. It's telling your customer, I take quality seriously, and I make your parts well. I make some of the best parts in the industry, but I want the most efficient solution. So where that leads us is the end. And we ask ourselves the question, what system is right for you? As a salesperson, I often hear, a salesperson's job is to sell things, doesn't matter what it is. And that's actually not true. That's a very old way of thinking about it. As a salesperson, our job is to educate. Our job is to make information available. The customers you're all very smart. Everyone in the world, we all have the internet. We all can do our research. the job of the salesperson is to provide you with the right information to help you make the best choice, even if that choice may not be a product I have today. So I'm hoping with this presentation, I've given you some information. I've given you enough to be dangerous to make a better decision, and I hope that you learned something today. So ask yourself and ask me in the comments, ask me in the chat, what system is right for you? I hope everyone stays safe. I hope everyone is well out there. I know it's troubling times, but if we do this together, we'll get through it together. Thank you very much. I appreciate everyone's time.